This is really terrifying to speak of these amazing speakers. Care is about having home everywhere or wherever you are around the world. And this is what I'm going to be talking about to you. Picture this. A 9-year-old running, not as in running while playing with his friends or running on a football field, but running away from his home. Running from fear as soldiers destroy his village. Running with him are his brothers, sisters, dad, and mom. He ran from the only home he knew. His family is his home now. His home is no longer a place. His home is his feeling of security with his family. After 24 hours of running, this boy became separated from his family, and the boy was devastated. He has nothing but the clothes on his back, and this is not enough to give him the comfort of a home. He searches and searches but finds no one. He could not go back to his village or anywhere else. He thought about all the good things he had with his family. His father was a judge. They were well-to-do. They had already had bright future ahead of them. But now, his family was done. His hope was gone. His family was done. And he was well and truly lost in the thick forest of the Congo. One day, while walking helplessly, looking for someone to help him out with food or money, he accidentally finding himself running as a village was being ambushed. He hid himself again inside a raw mattress. Yes, he was that small. He stayed there quietly, listening to people die in horror around him. He must have fallen asleep because when he woke up, there was no sound at all. His stomach mumbled in hunger. He struggles out of the mattress. And all around him were dead people with blood and guts everywhere. His hunger was replaced with deep fear. He ran. He ran as far away as he could. His mind went to his family. Were they also like this, lying dead somewhere? When he eventually stopped running, he sat on the forest floor and cried. He cried out of pity for himself. He cried for his family. He cried for the innocent people that had been killed. He cried because his little mind could not see life outside of where he was. All he could see was death. So he cried and cried until he fell asleep again. A few months passed by. He got coughed up again. While doing his usual wanderings, he stumbled into a scene where a young woman was being gang raped by about 8 soldiers. He knew that if he ran, one of those soldiers would chase and kill him. Because one of his friends had been killed like that a few weeks before. So instead, he hid himself again. At this stage, he has becoming very good at that. He hid himself and hid everything. all her cries of pain as soldiers laughed in scorn. He could not cover his ears because he needed to know when they were coming for him. After what seemed like forever, he heard a single gunshot. No more crying, but just laughter. As the laughter and playful chatter faded into the darkness, he came out of his hiding place. He approached the dead woman carefully. He saw she was naked, and blood was everywhere around her legs and her chest. Tears had dried up on her cheeks, and she looked so sad. He ran out of fear and experienced many nights of nightmares after that, seeing the sad face of the woman again and again. Over the next couple of years, he found his way to Burundi, Rwanda, and then Uganda. Over time, he has accumulated some friends, 12 others like him, 12 lost boys and girls that try to create a home among themselves. They learn to use their stories to get favor, such as food, shelter, or clothes. Eventually, they found a Samaritan who offered them a place. All 12 of them had to share one room among themselves. But one day, things went sour when one of the old boys beat this boy up over money. This is when the boy realized that he could not live with these strangers. The boy was alone again. But now he was old, more experienced, and wiser in his own way. So he was better able to care for himself by doing little jobs here and there. 10 years after being lost, a miracle happened. The Red Cross found the boy's family. The boy found his way home to his family in the smallest island, New Zealand. That boy, at 20 years old, found his happiness. That boy, because of the opportunities he had been offered, he has to share his story. That boy stands here in front of you. That boy, it's me, Benjamin Mugisho, a criminology graduate and a candidate at law school. I am a proof that home is something that can be destroyed. I wouldn't argue with that. War, destruction, killings, gun destroyed my home. But is home a place? Is home simply a place? I felt at home even with my family after we fled our village. Then this home was lost. Then I felt at home with those other lost boys and girls. But again, this was lost. But maybe it is not about the home that I lost. Maybe it's about the home that I found. Some say home is a feeling. Home is a decision. Home is a choice. I tend to agree with this definition. I stand here as evidence of that indeed. I am at home in New Zealand because this beautiful country opened its hands to me. It opened its visa to me. It opened its citizenship to me. But rather than finding a home in New Zealand, I was offered a home here. Is my home in the Congo? Yes. Is my home in New Zealand? Yes. So where do I belong? Do I belong here or there? The most important question I put to you this evening is, where is the most important place to belong? Where is the most important place to belong? It is important to belong in your own skin, in your own thoughts, in your own actions, in your own word, where you are at home with entirely everything you say and everything you do. Home can be given. By standing here, I've been given a home by you, by New Zealand, by my neighbors, my lecturers, my classmates, by my employers. Home can be given. The actions, perhaps the word of others, are the things that can give one that home. Where are you at home? Where are you? The horrific experience that life gave me was actually something special. It was a blessing in disguise, I could say. It led me to figure out where home is. I had to make that decision. I am at home in my actions and my choices. In the word that I say, in the man that I am now because of the actions I take and the way I behave. Am I a kind man or an alien? Am I a hatred man or a man of love and generosity? Am I a man who has grudges and suspicious or unfaithfulness? Or a man who sees hope and opportunities? I decided that I was not at home with bitterness and hunger, but I was at home with things that enable me to love and be loved, to have compassion. My questions to you this evening are, if you were to go at home tonight, are you at home with the words that are known to be yours? Are you at home with the actions, the behavior that you are known by? I would like you to think about these choices and decide. How come I decided to be a man of no bitterness? The answer is not about my faith, because there are plenty of angry, bitter, religious, and plenty of loving, kind, non-religious. It is not about that. But perhaps it's about the things that I've seen people can do to children. Perhaps it's about the thing that I've seen people can do to women, to cause pain, destruction, killings, the fear, aversion, the loss that the people can cause. It is the thing that I've seen people can destroy. Home, safety, love, life. All these things could be destroyed. And what about the things I've seen people can do to other people? Ordinary people like you and I. So every person has his or her choices to make. Every person has their potential to hear, to take, to create pain, loss, fear. But also, people can create other things. Children, they can create life with their partners. Love, dance, songs, connection, poetry, security, confidence, acceptance, encouragement, support, understanding, safety. They can create this. With this in mind, I've made the decision of the man I'm going to be or to create. And I'm very much at home with my choices. That any behavior of mine, anything that I create, I will be happy to be accused of. So when I made that decision, I discovered the most powerful home. The home that cannot be destroyed or be taken. I began by telling you a story about a boy who was been running. Who didn't know he was running all the way to New Zealand? It was a very long run. Jamaican, many believe, can run fast. But we run long. But perhaps it doesn't have to be like that. Perhaps we simply need access to this home that cannot be destroyed or taken. This home that does not have to be a physical place. I've met many girls and boys who have not run from the things that I've run from. And have lived at their home and not to have their things destroyed or taken. And I have also experienced the opposite too. So in my conclusion, the last things I can say, I consider myself lucky and blessed to have found hope with the opportunities ahead of me, to have found my home within myself as I discovered what the future holds for me. My one message to you is an invitation. I invite you to make that home for yourself. And this is my way of saying thank you to you, to New Zealand, for giving me the home, for sharing your home. Kia ora. Thank you.
Asante sana, nzuri sana ndugu.
Thank you.